Have you ever noticed that the same diet doesn't work the same way at different points in a woman's life? That's because women's nutritional needs aren't static, they constantly evolve. From puberty to menopause, hormonal shifts, especially estrogen and progesterone, change how the body uses energy, stores nutrients, and maintains health. We can break this into 4 key stages: puberty, reproductive years, perimenopause, and menopause, each with its own physiological demands. So if you watch this, you'll understand exactly what your body needs, and how to eat for each stage of your life. Puberty isn't just an awkward phase, it's a biological construction zone. Your body is hitting its maximum growth velocity, which means your maintenance calories aren't enough anymore. Think of it like upgrading a house while you're living in it. You need extra protein for muscle and a massive surplus of energy to fuel hormonal maturation. Without the right building materials, that growth velocity slows down, leaving the project unfinished. For girls, this transition brings a hidden challenge: the iron gap. When menarche begins, regular iron loss becomes the new normal, but your brain still needs iron to manufacture dopamine. If your iron stores, or ferritin, drop too low, your neural efficiency takes a hit. We're talking brain fog, fatigue, and lower academic performance. To fix it, pair iron-rich foods with vitamin C to unlock maximum absorption. Finally, let's talk about your skeleton. You have a narrow, structural window between ages 9 and 14, where 90% of your bone mass is established. This is your one-time savings account for your future self, but here's the catch: your bones are picky. They love the calcium in dairy and broccoli, but they can't use all of the calcium in spinach due to oxalates. Skip the soda, grab the milk, and add some impact exercise to lock in that bone density for life. Next, we'll talk about reproductive years, a time that is both dynamic and complex. During pregnancy, folic acid, or vitamin B9, is critical to prevent serious neural tube defects like spina bifida and anencephaly. Iron needs during the first trimester are similar to baseline, but for the second and third trimesters, iron needs skyrocket because blood volume expands and the baby demands more. And if you don't consume enough calcium, this is wild, the fetus will literally pull it from the mother's bones, which can cause preeclampsia and osteoporosis. Moving on to postpartum, research usually investigates the baby's health. We'll begin by focusing on the mother, and then the baby's breastfeeding needs. Mothers are deficient in iron, vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium. Like way below recommendations. Why? Blood loss during delivery, lactation energy demand, and uterine involution. These can lead to anemia, fatigue, and even impaired recovery. Moving on to lactation nutrition, this is metabolically expensive. You need an extra 330 to 500 calories a day. Mothers must also be aware of low iodine, which can cause thyroid dysfunction in both the mother and baby. Plus, low omega-3s can result in impaired brain and eye development in the infant. Breast milk is incredible, but it's not perfect. It lacks enough vitamin D and K, which is why supplementation is standard. Now let's talk about perimenopause. This is the transition phase before menopause, and it's one of the most important periods for women's nutrition. During this time, estrogen and progesterone don't just decline, they fluctuate a lot, and that actually disrupts metabolism and how your body absorbs nutrients. One of the biggest impacts is on bone health. Estrogen normally protects your bones, but as it drops, bone breakdown starts to happen faster than bone formation. That's why women can lose up to 1 to 3% of bone mass per year during this stage. So nutritionally, calcium and vitamin D become critical. Calcium builds the bone, and vitamin D helps your body absorb it, but it also acts like a hormone, influencing immune health and even disease risk. Magnesium is essential because it activates vitamin D. So if magnesium is low, vitamin D can't do its job. Iron is still important due to irregular menstruation, and low levels can cause fatigue and reduced focus. Vitamin B12 becomes key because its absorption declines with age, affecting energy and brain function. So overall, perimenopause isn't just a hormonal shift, it's a metabolic shift, and getting the right nutrients at this stage is essential to prevent long-term issues like osteoporosis and chronic disease. Now menopause, and this is where nutrition becomes protective. As estrogen drops, the body shifts, metabolism slows, inflammation increases, and the risk of conditions like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and osteoporosis goes up. One interesting change is that blood sugar control actually gets worse. Research shows higher glucose spikes after meals and more variability. That's where protein becomes really important. It helps stabilize blood sugar, reduce spikes, and also prevents muscle loss, which keeps your metabolism stronger. At the same time, calcium and vitamin D are essential to protect bone health as bone loss accelerates. We also have B vitamins and vitamin C, which support energy production and brain function, especially as fatigue and brain fog increase. And finally, omega-3s help reduce inflammation and protect heart health, which becomes a major concern at this stage. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's this: a woman's nutritional needs don't stay the same, they change throughout her life. So if I had to explain this to a friend, a mom, or even a grandmother, I'd say, eat to support what your body is going through. When you're young, it's about building bone growth, development. In your reproductive years, it's about supporting your cycle and energy. And later, especially around menopause, it's about protecting your bones, your metabolism, and your long-term health. The key nutrients, like iron, calcium, vitamin D, and protein, are always important, but when and how much you need them changes. So the takeaway is simple: the best diet isn't one size fits all, it evolves with you.